Hey there, everybody. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of Favorite Albums Through the Decades in the co-captain's chair today. Once again, Mr. Guitar Hack. What's happening, my friend?
Hey Pete, how are you, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thanks for helping out on the two inaugural episodes of this brand new series that we're going to be doing throughout the month of May. So, of course, I know what Hack likes. So I said, well, you know what? Let's pick Priest for day one and Kiss for day two. And so here we are at Kiss. So Kiss, of course, has released plenty of albums in their careers. They've got a bunch of them in the 70s, a lot of them in the 80s, a few of them in the 90s. Seeing as they only have one album in the 2000s and then one in past 2010, what we've done is we've combined those two decades and we've each picked our favorite amongst those last two. But there's lots to choose from in the first couple decades. So I'm going to have Hack start us all off today with his favorite album from the 70s.
Alrighty, well, I've talked about this a bunch on my channel, so everybody kind of knows my favorite Kiss album of all time is from the 70s. And actually talked about this on the show we did last Wednesday,
That's correct.
and as a great introduction to somebody who's never listened to any Kiss, but rock and roll over, would be my album pick from the 70s. It's the best. I mean, they've got a lot of great records in the 70s, obviously. But this one just, everybody performs on it. Great songs, great collection of songs. It's got all the sort of earmarks of what, a great Kiss album is. And it's just a straight up great rock record with great songs. I mean, you can't beat it. So yeah. But I mean, there's a lot that are real close to this, but this I think and it's got my favorite Kiss song of all time, which is Mr. Speed on there. So that kind of helps. But there you go.
And a great album cover. And yeah, I mean, honestly, if anybody, you can pick the first album, second album, Dress to Kill, that album, Love Gun,
Yeah.
Destroyer. I mean, really, any of those are a good choice, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love that album too. That's really good. I went with my favorite Kiss album of all time here, which is Hotter Than Hell. The second album, I like the darkness of this album, and it's heavy. I mean, I don't even mind the kind of murky production, but I mean, there's some absolute drop dead classics on here.
Oh yeah.
Got to Choose, Parasite, the title track. Watching You is one of my favorite songs. Plus, it has Strange Ways, which I absolutely love. Going Blind is good. There's some really good songs on here that were not like played live, and most people don't talk about. But All the Way is another great song on here. I totally dig this. But you know what? I like your pick quite a bit as well. So can't go wrong with either one. But Hotter Than Hell is my choice for the 70s. And back to you for the 80s. Here we go. Now it gets really interesting, right?
Yeah, I was just gonna say on that record, I think probably has my favorite Ace guitar solo, which is Strange Ways. It's sick.
Such a killer song and so underrated. I never understood why that wasn't talked about as like one of the greatest Kiss songs ever. It's so good.
There's a couple of hidden gems in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the 80s, so this was interesting. So I was almost gonna pick Unmasked.
Really? Okay.
Okay. I was this close. I was like, okay, because I love Unmasked. I'm one of the few that loves the poppy version of Kiss. I love Dynasty just as well. I love that period. It's just great songs, right? So but it's funny because then I was sitting out yesterday, I had my Bluetooth speaker on, I'm having a cigar, and what comes on? Young and Wasted off of Lick It Up. I'm like, wait a minute. And then I went back and I looked at both the song lists on both records, and Lick It Up just edged it a little bit. But I was pretty close to just picking on that because I love that era of Kiss. But you know what? Lick It Up, it's got great Gene songs on it. Young and Wasted fits like a glove. On the Eighth Day, Dance All Over Your Face. It's got some really, and he's really singing, like he's got that whole menacing Gene thing going through those songs, and Young and Wasted is a hidden gem for sure. And Paul's got some good tunes on that, Exciters on that, Give Me More, of course, the Lick It Up. which has kind of revived their career. So
Yeah, yeah.
when I look at the rest of it, I mean, I really like Animalize as well. But I kind of like Animalize. Paul was trying to shatter glass there, and sometimes it gets a little fatiguing on the ear. And I think Lick It Up's just got maybe better quality songs on it. Not for the Innocent, of course. If I haven't mentioned that, another great song. So, anyways, yeah, Lick It Up for me for the '80s.
Cool. That's a good choice. For me, it was like down to two, and I was also looking at Animalize. I like Animalize,
That's a great.
and I'm a fan of Mark St. John's guitar work on that album. I thought he was a really good player. It's a shame that didn't all work out, but I ultimately decided to go with Creatures of the Night.
Yeah, good pick.
This to me is one of the heaviest Kiss albums, and again, I like there's a serious tone to this album that I always really appreciate. I love the title track. Rock and Roll Hell is great. Killer and War Machine are so good. I mean, I love it loud, probably more than I need to, but Saint and Sinners, Keep Me Coming. It's just a really good, heavy rock and Kiss album, and this is like one of those, handful of albums that you could say is pretty much Kiss doing heavy metal. It's like Kiss have always kind of been lumped as a heavy metal band. I don't know that they really ever were. Hard rock bands, certainly they had their metal moments, but I dig this album quite a bit, regardless of the fact that this is kind of like the band in transition, right? I mean, this is like
Yeah,
where we've moved away from Peter Criss. We are in the process of moving away from Ace Frehley, right? And all that sort of thing. But I still think it's really good. But yeah, you can't go wrong with Lick It Up. Animalize, Asylum. I mean, they're all pretty strong albums too.
yeah.
My feeling about Elder and the other choice, but
Well, yeah, I kind of dig the Elder.
you know what? I have softened my stance on the Elder quite a bit. I really have. I used to like hate that album. It is actually not that bad. It's not that bad. And you know what? Even Unmasked has its moments. Um, I years ago I used to hate both of those albums. Now, as you get older, you kind of you look at some stuff a
Yeah.
little bit differently. And I think those two are pretty good for what they are, right? Are they like top shelf Kiss for me anyway? No, but I think I can appreciate kind of what they were going
Well,
for in both of those albums.
see, I mean, the reason why Unmasked was, kind of almost there with Look It Up was Ace was shining bright on that record.
Well, yeah, that was his last big hurrah, right? For the most part.
That
That's yeah.
song, Talk to Me, I love Torpedo Girl. He's got some good moments on that record, and
Yeah.
there's some great playing on that record. So but sort of the more menacing Gene kind of won out on Look It Up. But that
Yeah.
was a close one for me. It really was.
I hear. All right, now we move into the 90s.
Well, the '90s is this kind of easy.
Yeah.
You only got three to pick from here. It's for me. It's got to be, and this is autographed. Bruce Kulick autograph. Got to be Revenge.
Gotta be.
Yeah, I mean, Bob Ezrin produced this. Just a straight up modern sounding Kiss at the time, right? Hard kicking record.
It's a heavy album. Yeah.
Really good. I mean, I'm looking at Unholy was a great lead off track, and to have Gene do the lead off, is pretty rare with Kiss. So Unholy's great. Take It Off is great. I always love the song Spit. I think it's just really cool. Domino, Paralyzed. I mean, some really, really good songs on this. Bruce Kulick's playing on this is really very, very cool. He's really going for the jugular on this one. Paul's voice at this point, he stopped trying to shatter glass and he's just singing.
Yeah.
And that is a massive improvement because imagine if he just did the Animalized thing on this, then the record would have sounded pretty
It
bad.
no longer works. Yeah.
Yeah. But and the production too on it, like I don't know if you picked this up, Pete, especially with Animalized. Like the production sounds very compressed, very flat. This album sounds great. Like it, I mean,
Yeah.
it's Bob Ezrin. It just sounded really because at that point, Animalize and Asylum, they were it was Paul producing himself, and they really needed an outside guy to bring a nice, better sound of the band, and they did it with Revenge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's my pick as well for the 90s. That's got a really it's the album just sounds huge. I mean, the riffs are
yeah,
tremendous on that album.
yeah,
It's like almost like the guys like said, all right, we need to kind of get serious again here. I mean, you mentioned some of my favorite. I love Unholy is great.
yeah,
Tough Love is a really good song. Domino, God Gave Rock and Roll to You is a great cover. And I
yeah.
love Paralyzed. Love it. So a
Paralyzed.
really good album, really heavy. You're right. Bruce's riffs are great. The solos are really good. I like Gene's vocals. I mean, Gene sings a bunch of songs on this one, and I think he
Yeah,
sounds great. And yeah, overall, everybody brought their A game to this album.
yeah, yeah. You need more Gene, man, and that's part of the problem in the '80s. Is Gene kind of went away for a while and wanted to be Mr. Hollywood, right? So
Yeah,
the band
yeah,
suffered for it, right? I mean, but it's nice when Gene came back, and he came back strong on this record for sure.
yeah. I would say that's for me anyway. That's probably the last great Kiss album.
Well, yeah. Well, you get the Carnival of Souls, which got a couple of good moments on it, but as a whole, it just kind of lies flat. Psycho Circus, which was a lot of promise. There's a couple of good songs on
There
Psycho.
are a couple.
I
Yeah.
love the title cut. I
Final
think
Cut is great.
that's a great. That's a great.
If only the rest of the album was as good as that, right?
Yeah, you know, Raise Your Glasses is kind of cool. I mean, but yeah, as a whole, I don't know.
Yeah. So what we've done, so since Kiss only had, like I said, one album in the 2000s, first half of the 2000s, and then one post 2010, what we've done is we've taken a look at both of them, and we've just picked our favorite amongst the two. So I'll let Hack give his 2000 and up choice.
Well, I can't find my pick. This is the one that I didn't pick. But I much prefer Monster over Sonic Boom. I just like the songs on Monster better. This has got I don't know. It's got a little too much cheese on this one for me. Monster, Long Way Down, Hell or Hallelujah. I'm trying to remember some of the songs. That Freak's not a bad song. Wall of Sound. It's got a little more heft. It's just I think a heavier record. I dig the songs better. Um, and I don't know, just as a collection of songs, I think I just prefer Monster. And I know most people actually prefer Sonic Boom over Monster, but this one's autographed as well. If you can see that,
Oh,
Eric
nice.
Singer up front.
Yep.
But yeah, now for me it would be Monster.
I had a hard time picking between the two because I think they're both pretty similar, similar as far as like enjoyment factor, right? They are
Yeah,
a little different sounding. I agree. I ultimately went with Sonic Boom. I just couldn't make my mind up. So
yeah,
and it actually works out well because now we're both talking about the other one, right? So
right.
I think this is more of the kind of the party record of the two, right? I mean, you mentioned it's a little heavy on the cheese
Yeah.
and I think that's what they were going for here. But Modern Day Delilah, I like quite a bit. Russian Roulette is cool. Hot and Cold, All for the Glory, I'm an Animal. I mean, it's a Kiss record, and it's fun. It's got its moments. It's got its kind of suckiness too. But as a lot of the latter period albums are. But Monster's good also. I think they're both enjoyable. I bought them both when they came out. I
Yeah.
still have them. I kind of enjoy them. It's again, is a top shelf Kiss. No, but the fact that they were doing anything new at this stage of the game, I think was okay.
Yeah. Well, here's a little known fact, but Modern Day Delilah, they put out a video for that
Yeah.
was shot at Cobo Hall in Detroit. I'm in the video.
Oh, really cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. If you blink, you miss me though.
You're in the audience there.
I'm in the audience. Yeah, so yeah, I'm in that video. It's
Cool. Oh, we both have something in common, right? Because I'm in a Crocus video back from like 1984 or 85, something like that. So it's for Screaming in the Night. Go figure, right?
there you go.
There's two versions of the Screaming in the Night video. One is like the whole storyline with the woman and all that, and the other one is a performance video, and that was taped at the Mid Hudson Civic Center in Poughkeepsie, New York. They after the show, they said, "All right, that's the end of the show, guys. And if for anybody who wants to hang out, we're going to shoot a video afterwards," which didn't happen until like an hour later. So most of the people had already left. There were like maybe about 100 or 150 people left, and I was there up in the front row, and it was pretty cool.
There you go. Cool, man.
So yeah. So there you have it, everybody. our favorite albums from each of the decades that Kiss has produced albums. So in the comments below, let's hear what your favorites are. Your favorite album from the 70s, the 80s, from the 90s. And if you want to do what we did for the 2000s, go right ahead. Be interesting to see what people come up with. So I want to thank Guitar Hack for joining us here today on this fine Sunday for a little talk of Kiss. We'll hopefully be seeing him on the channel real soon. You want to give a little information on your channel and what's coming up over there?
Yeah, so I do a show every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Actually, I did a show with Pete last Wednesday. If you want to check that out, I've got Brian Spaldi coming on this week. He's a really awesome guitar player who is involved in the 80s LA scene. So he's got a lot of stories about bands he's played with, the musicians he's has met along the way. So check that out. Also, I should mention I've got a bunch of original music on my channel as well. I've got songs out on. I keep forgetting to mention my original stuff, but I've got songs out on Spotify. If you go to Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, any of the services, type in Guitar Hack. I think there's 11 or 12 of them. A lot of them are instrumentals. There's a couple of vocals which I avoid because I can't sing, but there's a whole bunch of songs on there. So check them out. And I've heard my stuff sounds like Floyd, sounds like ZZ Top. I did all these different bands, but it all comes out in the music. So go and check that out if you wouldn't mind, and check out the channel.
Yeah, please do that, everybody. Go over and give Hack a subscribe hit and check out the music. I've heard quite a few of the songs are all really, really good if you like really tasty instrumental rock music. So I think you'll dig it. So, all righty, there you have it, everybody. So this is us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, of course. We're here on YouTube all the damn time. We got coming up. We got 3 shows for you coming up today. So in addition to this one, we've got later on today, we've got Chuck Alvarez from In the Prog Seat. He's joining me for ranking the albums, our 10 favorite albums from Pat Metheny, one of the great jazz fusion guitar players of all time. And then later on today, I'm going to join up with John McEntee from Incantation. We're going to rank the albums of death metal legends Immolation. So that's all coming up. Tomorrow we got the Hudson Valley Squares, Tuesday in the Prog Seat, Thursday, the Monsters Den, and all sorts of other stuff happening this week. So do not miss any of it. Make sure you subscribe. If you want to hit that Ko-Fi link below to make a donation, please do that as well. We thank you in advance for that. And we also have a link to our merch page. We've got all sorts of new t-shirt designs and mugs and hats and all that good stuff. So for Guitar Hack, I am Pete Pardo. See you all later on. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody.